A blow to the Trump administration's immigration raids in Southern California.
A Ninth Circuit panel agree with litigants that those raids use illegal racial profiling, a violation of the Fourth Amendment. Here's Susan Hirasuna with the story.
A major legal win for immigrant rights advocates after weeks of federal raids sparked fear across Southern California. Outside the federal courthouse in downtown Los Angeles, attorneys and plaintiffs in Vasquez-Perdomo v. Nome called the Ninth Circuit's latest decision a critical victory.
The Ninth Circuit's decision is a vital affirmation of one of our most basic constitutional principles, that no one can be stopped or detained or arrested based on appearance, language, or location alone.
The court denied the federal government's attempt to pause a restraining order that bans immigration agents from making unconstitutional stops in 7 counties, including L.A., Orange, and Ventura.
I was simply standing at a bus stop, waiting to get to work like I do every day. Then, without warning, several unmarked cars showed up. Men jumped out, grabbed me and my coworkers, and took us away like we were criminals.
The Department of Homeland Security says more than 2,800 undocumented immigrants have been detained in the L.A. area alone since June. Many of them day laborers, farm workers, and even U.S. citizens. Advocacy groups say they were targeted based on skin color, language, and where they worked.
The federal government wants to intimidate us. They want to normalize mass abductions of people from our streets. But people of conscience throughout Southern California will not back down.
But DHS maintains that they are merely enforcing federal immigration laws.
There's a lot of people here in the so-called sanctuary of California that maybe are used to softer on crime policies. When you see us out there, you're not going to be dealing with a soft on crime approach. You're going to be dealing with the full consequences of your actions.
The restraining order remains in effect while the case moves forward. A hearing for a preliminary injunction is set for late September.
Our message is we will be watching. If the federal government runs up on these streets, takes with their guns and with their masks and comes to Home Depot parking lots and car washes and farms and warehouses, my message to you all is if you see something, say something.
I contacted the Department of Homeland Security, and I received several quotes when I asked them for a reaction. What makes someone a target of ICE is if they are illegally in the U.S., not their skin color, race, or ethnicity. America's brave men and women are removing murderers, MS-13 gang members, pedophiles, rapists, truly the worst of the worst from Golden State communities. 70% of ICE arrests are of criminal, illegal aliens who have been convicted or have pending charges. President Trump and Secretary Nome are putting the American people first by removing illegal aliens who pose a threat to our communities. The DHS also released a quote that called the Ninth Circuit unelected judges undermining the will of the American people. But today, attorneys say they're monitoring for any violations of the court order and say more legal action is on the table if federal agents continue their tactics.
Meanwhile, when the Ninth Circuit overturned Governor Newsom when it came to the National Guard, they seemed to love the Ninth Circuit then, including the Trump-appointed judges on the Ninth Circuit who are worth them on that one.
I was surprised that they didn't make hay about the judges on this particular panel. And all the judges, 3 of the judges, they were Biden and Clinton appointees.
And that's the way, a lot of people want to know that. Ninth Circuit, there's a bunch of judges, and then you can draw 3 panel randomly, and so that could determine how you do. And in the Newsom case, they had 2 Republican appointees on it.
I take issue with the 70% are criminals. I'm not quite sure if that is an accurate statistic, because you wonder, the mere fact that you're in this country illegally and they're trying to adjudicate, does that make you one of the 70%? As opposed to somebody who has pending charges as a rapist or a pedophile.
Right. So if the public sees arrests happening, the assumption is supposed to be that they have reason to go after that person.
Perhaps, but there was a rumor that there was a raid today at a Home Depot, which falls in line very much with what we have seen in the past that these judges had taken issue with. And so the attorneys that were at the news conference today said, oh yeah, we'll be looking into it, because if that was the case and they violated this temporary restraining order, you know, that's why they say we'll go back to court.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Susan Harris-Suna, interesting issue.